Welcome to another episode of the Religion Law Podcast, where you learn about religious freedom and other religion law-related topics through a short question and answer format. I'm your host, Michael Fielding. Let's see how you do on today's quiz. Welcome to Religion Law Quiz number 60, numero 60, a milestone, right? 60 religion law quizzes is pretty good, and actually, when you factor in our sub-series that we have been doing about protecting and defending religious freedom, we're actually closer to 65 quizzes. Today's quiz is short. If you have been paying attention to past quizzes, I would hope that you get this one right. Let's see how you do. This is a true or false question. True or false? The Establishment Clause is violated if a neutral government program benefits a religious institution. What do you think? If you have a government program and it's truly neutral, and if it happens to benefit a religious institution, do we at that point in time have a violation of the Establishment Clause? What do you think? Is that true or false? Well, the answer is false. And here's what the Supreme Court said in its 2020 decision in Espinoza v. Montana Department of Revenue. I'll have the citation in the show note. Here's what the Supreme Court said, quote, "We have repeatedly held that the Establishment Clause is not offended when religious observers and organizations benefit from neutral government programs," close quote. And the Supreme Court noted the Trinity Lutheran decision that we've talked about in the past, where the parties had actually agreed in that case that the Establishment Clause was not violated by including churches in the playground resurfacing program. So what's the practical takeaway here? Well, I think the practical takeaway is, again, if you have just a truly general government program and it just happens to benefit a religious institution, the reality of the matter is that is not an Establishment Clause violation. I give it an extreme example, almost a silly example, but I think it'll help you understand the point. Let's assume that there's a government program, and the program is that they're going to put a nice sidewalk down a busy street. And we'll just assume that putting the nice sidewalk, the nice lighting that would go along with it, actually enhances the values of the homes in the area because it helps with walkability, it spruces the area up, it makes it look quite nice. And if that sidewalk happens to go by a church, and the fact that the homes in the neighborhood have now been increased in value because of this government improvement, and there is a corresponding increase in the value of the church building, clearly this is a neutral government program. It's obviously benefited the church because its property is now worth more, but there's been clearly no violation of the Establishment Clause because it was generally applicable. It was a neutral program. So very simple example, but that illustrates why there is no Establishment Clause in that situation. All right, that's today's quiz. Short and simple. Hopefully you got it right. We'll see how you do on the next Religion Law Quiz. Thank you for listening to today's episode. Remember, religion law quizzes are for educational purposes only and are not intended to be relied upon as legal advice. If you have found this episode to be helpful, please share it and leave a review. Until we meet again, keep being an influence for good.